Alright everyone, it's time for Occult Literature, video number 170. Yes, the big 170 already here. Practical Occultism, an interesting work. It's over 120 pages, so it is full length. It comes from the end of the 19th century. Link in the description to my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links are to my books blogs, actually. If you're interested in this more academic and how-to side, there are other works available there, specifically within the academic and mysticism headers. This is mostly a comprehensive guide to the spiritualist opinion, fairly early spiritualism in the sense of the 1880s. Their opinions with regards to trance states, mediumship, magic in a more general sense, the psychic arts, things of that nature. It's delivered in the form of a large number of lectures, and it's a fairly interesting work sort of looking at this, and interestingly, as far as I'm concerned, anecdotally here, the most interesting part to me is really its debasement of the concept of hellfire and possession and all of these things said to be associated with magic or with life in general, a sinner's life, as the fire and brimstone types would actually categorize it. Now you've got to understand, in this era, spiritualism is one of a three-pronged sort of movement during the late 1800s, early 1900s. Spiritualism on one hand, the fire and brimstone traditionalists on another, and then the secularists on the third, the pure science, atheism sort of thing, were all very much in vogue, and they interstruggled amongst themselves. What you ended up getting later on is they sort of fuse together along certain lines, like the spiritualists adopt some elements of scientific thought. Science sort of makes peace with the religious establishment. The religious establishment grows a little bit more tolerance towards some of the more harmless or white magic elements of spiritualism, and you have an era of good feelings come the 1920s a little bit with regards to some of these figures. Now, but it's an interesting work altogether. Again, it's fairly in-depth. Numerous lectures on these topics. It speaks about basically what the trance state is, the form and function of seances, its opinions on mediumship in a general sense, as well as, again, refuting some of the fire and brimstone, and refuting science in the more secular sense. When this attacks science, it's not saying, well, technology is bad, doctoring is bad, we don't need you doctoring types around there. It's not like that. What they were attacking, and this is literally stated here, is the transformation, especially then. If people think that science has religious qualities now, you should have seen maybe in the late 1800s, the idea that science was becoming quasi-religious in and of itself and was becoming antagonistic towards certain spiritual beliefs, which it is, to a greater or lesser extent, depending on what those beliefs entail, of course. So again, link in the description to my edition of this work on Amazon, second and third links to my books, blogs. This one comes highly recommended. It's quite an interesting work. That's about all. Peace out.